Angels baseball. And that tease was a no-doubter as we welcome you to Angels Live here from the Big A. Yeah, what a night it was underneath the halo. The Halos come from behind to win it in dramatic fashion. A walk-off from Stefani. They take game one of a three-game series. Game two is tonight. Here's on tap over the next 30 minutes. Yeah, walk off this way. Let's keep that musical theme going. We're going to relive what the Halos have done in two of their last three games. And then, of course, it's Shohei all the time. Shohei has been out Shoheiing himself. He did it again last night. And then the Angels have powered up. It's incredible what they've been doing over the last 16 games. At least one homer in 16 straight. Yeah, the power numbers are up. We need to get some more wins, though, as you welcome me inside the Big A. Hey, a couple Halo Hall of Famers joining me now. Tim Salmon, Garrett Anderson. You know what, gents, this is like a comic book unfolding before our very eyes. A superhero in Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what he has been doing has been absolutely incredible. And, Tim, I know you weren't at the game last night, but when you heard and saw what was going on, was there any surprise whatsoever?
So I could talk other than Shohei. Yeah, when the Yankees come to town, the circus follows them. I mean, it's like big top city. I haven't done a Yankee game in years, but I tell you what, I am so sorry I missed last night. I mean, all those star-studded people in the stands. Gwen Stefani, are you kidding?
Yes.
She's like one of my favorite. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm
sorry I wasn't here for that one.
Well, we got a lot more Gwen coming at you. Erica West is going to join us for some reaction from that. But you know what? You know, GA, when you talk about Shohei Ohtani, I mean, to be able to out-Shohei himself, I'm going to say that a lot tonight. I mean, that's got to be truly remarkable for someone who played the game as long as you guys did.
It is, and the thing that just boggles my mind is he keeps getting the opportunity to do it. I mean, how often are you going to just keep giving him a chance to beat you? And he's been doing it for the last week now. And it's just, I just scratched my head because there's times when I was playing certain situations, I didn't get anything to hit. Yeah. Period. And there's no Mike Trout in the lineup either. So kudos for him for he's not missing his pitch either.
97-mile-an-hour fastball. He grooved it last night. He was able to take it out. I'm calling him Shoby 1. Let that one sit. Let that one sit. It's not even May 4th, and I went there. Hey, you know what? We're looking for some momentum for this team, Tim, and coming out of the All-Star break, Angels trying to, you know, correct that slide that they were on, under 500 still. But, you know, when you walk it off twice in 3 games, that's got to give some momentum, right?
Well, it definitely does, and I mean, it shows a lot about, you know, the heart of this team right now. They know it. The season's on the line right now. I mean, you like to think you have 2 months to play this out, but really, a lot's going to be determined in the next week or two. So they're out there giving everything they can. They're calling up guys like Trey Cabbage right there, you know, scoring the winning run the other night. And then, of course, last night, Michael Stefani coming up with a big hit. Way to do your homework, young man. Welcome to the big leagues, getting his first big league, or I'm sorry, getting the first walk-off hit of the Angels this year. That was fantastic right there. Again, this team coming out and doing what they've been able to do since the break. They're fighting, the pitching, you know, they've scored a lot of runs. They've had to score a lot of runs and have them doing it the way they've done it in late inning fashion. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the queen of the OC, when she's in town, you got to keep the theme going. So Gwen Stefani versus Stefanic. Yeah, here's the group. The biggest hit, and of course the records. You can't forget what Stefanic did at AAA. 62-game on-base streak, pretty darn impressive. And GA, Stefanic coming off the bench, the last man off the bench, the first pinch hit walk off for the Angels in extra since Jared Walsh did it back in 2019. That's not an easy thing to do.
It's not, and I did it for 1 year, and coming off the bench is not fun at all. I mean, you don't feel like you're part of the game and the momentum of the game, so to be able to find a pitch and put it in play right there, that was huge last night.
You know, one of the things he said was, he said that he knew he was going to get an off-speed pitch. Now, it's one thing to know you're going to get an off-speed pitch. There's another thing to be in the moment and be able to hit it. I mean, especially coming off the bench, because most guys coming off the bench looking for dead red, the heater. You got a lot of, you know, emotion, a lot of energy going. The fact that he was able to, on the second pitch, time up that changeup and get the big hit, kudos to him. Great job right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, Shohei Ohtani is really good, and it's kind of getting ridiculous in a very good way. You got to keep tuned into Bally Sports West, or you got to come out to the ballpark. Watch Shohei Ohtani continue to make history. And, GA, I'm going to go back to what you were talking about. 7th inning or greater in a ball game. He has 12 home runs in a 28-game span. That's the most in Major League history over a span of 28 games. I know he's still getting pitches to hit, But when do they start pitching around Shohei Ohtani?
I don't know. I kind of scratched my head on that one. It kind of like last night's pitcher, I kind of got the feeling during the at-bat, because he carved up the beginning the leadoff guy with curveballs, and it just seemed like he just kept throwing fastball. It's like, oh, he's not going to hit my fastball, but yes, he can hit your fastball, and he's hit everybody's fastball the last few weeks.
Well, you remember last year start as well. I mean, look at these numbers right here. On pace with Judge. This is really amazing right here that he's on pace to hit 60 home runs, but maybe potentially bypassing Aaron Judge and what he was able to accomplish last year. But, you know, Shohei's hitting 306 during this period of time. To Judge's was only, I think Judge was only hitting in the 280 range. So Shohei's doing a great job. But I want to say this about Shohei, what he's doing right now. Yeah, give him all the credit. He's in the box. He's seeing the ball. He's taking advantage of the mistakes they're throwing him. But I tell you, a lot of that credit goes towards the bench. This team is a lot deeper than they were last year. Remember last year, Shohei, the second half, or really the last month of the season, I mean, they were really able to pitch around him because there wasn't much depth. I think what we've talked about all year long to this point is how much better this offense is, how much more depth there is. Even though Mike Trout's not in there, even though Rendon's not in there, pitchers are still able to go out there and have to make some pitches in certain situations. You know, I don't think they would have pitched him in the 9th inning like that, but the 7th inning, they're thinking, hey, you know, maybe we can just get him to pop up, and it's Shohei Ohtani, and he's hot right now.
Shohei Ohtani, by the way, has been one hit shy of the cycle 7 times through 95 games this season. The only other player to do it, Lou Gehrig, back in 1931. I mean, the numbers and the stats just keep coming and coming. It's truly remarkable. All right, gents, let's talk about the long ball. That's one thing Shohei Ohtani has been doing very well this season, one of many things. But GA, it's about capitalizing on the long ball. They got 16 straight games with at least a home run. That's second best in franchise history, but they're not winning those games, GA.
Yeah, solo home runs really don't matter. You need to have the passengers on base to really get the W's. And you can't depend on the home run. You have to be able to scratch out runs every night. And living off the home run, you definitely going to have, you know, some ebbs and flows in the season. So, but that's the approach to hitting nowadays is, you know, try to get the ball in the air and put it in the seats.
Yeah, this is a nice streak they got going. I think really, to me, when I think about it, I think about the fact that you have a bunch of hitters in the lineup that are hunting their pitches. You know, home runs, I always said, are, you know, home runs are accidents. At least they were for me.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, they're accidents. All right, we both agree on that. They're accidents. But, you know, but what it takes is going up there, having a good approach, staying in the at-bat, not expanding your zone, staying within, you know, your approach and what you're seeing up and down the lineup right now. And I think you got to credit Marcus and Phil Plantier, what they're doing down there in the batting cages and getting these guys ready emotionally, mentally, whatever it is at the plate. These guys are going up there taking good at-bats, and when they get their pitches, when they get that mistake, they're putting good swings on it. So I think, you know, it doesn't just I mean, I know it's accidents and it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. There's a lot of prep that goes into it, and these guys are doing a great job.
Angels have hit 144 homers this year. That's tops in the American League, 3rd best in baseball behind the Braves and the Dodgers and GA. I want to go back to what Tim was talking about. Are those home runs a byproduct of a deep lineup for the Angels?
Oh, for sure. There's no way around it. I mean, the lineup is much longer than it was last year. So even with players that they brought up, they've been able to do damage. Cabbage has come up and provided.
Yep. So
all the moves they've made and what Perry's made to actually intentionally make this lineup longer has helped this season.
Yeah, hitting breeds more hitting. I mean, that's one thing for sure. And, you know, when you can go through a game and you don't have too many of those innings where it's 3 up, 3 down, and guys can keep that momentum. And, you know, what's the worst thing after you hit or you had a good at-bat or maybe even a bad at-bat? You just can't wait for that next at-bat. So when you can have more guys in that lineup, flipping that lineup and getting you to that next at-bat, that's just going to create some more of that adrenaline and some of that excitement.
Yeah, we had some excitement last night. Gwen Stefani was in the house. And you know what? Everybody's feeling hella good. That's just in the script. I don't know where to go with that. But hey, Gwen's there, Blake's there, the kids are there. Erica Weston, she's joining us next.
An entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Before they flash the leather on the field, they'll flash the style on the carpet. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show, July 11th on MLB Network.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues. Big leaps of what? Law. Art? Construction? Baseball?
How'd you guess?
With the help of Major League Baseball, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
California Lexus dealers experience amazing, and that's what the Halos and their fans experienced last night. A walk-off win, their second in the last 3 games. Halos looking for some momentum and hoping to keep the fun times at the Big A alive. They're hoping to get themselves into the wild card race here in the second half of the season. As you take a look at what's happening here in the AL wild card standings. And oh, by the way, the Yankees now, Tim, in last place in the AL East, all by themselves. Thought I'd just throw it out there.
Yeah, 5 games over 500.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not too shabby right there. They just happen to play in a tough division. Come on now.
All right, well, the Angels 5.5 back there, and they got a lot of teams to jump. But I'll tell you what, we were all jumping around because Gwen Stefani was in the house. Yeah, she's the queen of OC. She's from Anaheim, went to Fullerton College, went to Cal State Fullerton. There she is. Her husband, Blake Shelton, is there as well. The kids dancing around, and oh, what a game it was. And GA, you and I were sitting in the press room, and Gwen was on the screen like every 10 minutes. It basically, we were living this game through her emotions last night.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she definitely looked like she had a good time last night, and yeah, there was no shortage of shots on her in the suite last night.
And Tim, I'm sorry you missed it. I am
you know
sorry
what,
you
Frenchie?
missed it. Yeah.
We would have met her last night because we would have gone over to that suite. You know that.
I know that. I know.
I'm going. I'm telling you. If she's here tonight, we're going.
Well,
probably not going to be there.
Gwen, reach out. Reach out so we can say hi. Listen, for more on Gwen Stefani and her aura last night, we bring in someone else who brings a tremendous aura to this broadcast, and Erica West. And Erica, I just want to start by saying, don't speak. I know just what you're saying.
Are you guys okay? Like, I don't know if you guys are okay over there.
I'm struggling.
I can tell, Fish. I can tell. Don't worry. There's going to be more coming, but it was all love. Angels music, baby, with the Queen of OC here in the house last night. And it was so funny seeing all of the players down in the dugout close to me. You know, every ballpark does the celebrity lookalikes, and they're usually pretty funny, pretty spot on. And everybody was like, wait, that was really Gwen Stefani. And thankfully, we got to check on her Instagram story and document the fact that she was actually here live and in color with their hubby Blake Shelton in the suite. Look at, she even documented Shohei Ohtani's game-tying home run in the 7th inning. Truly a queen of OC, having so much fun here at the Big A last night. And more importantly, her and her husband Blake Shelton were here just because they decided to come to the Big A and take in the big game. Everything's bigger and better when the Yankees are in town, and it certainly proved to be the case with the queen, Gwen Stefani, in the house. So what did the guys think of Gwen being in the house last night? Here's what they had to say.
I just glanced up at the board, and I remember I forget who I was sitting next to, but I remember being like, I think that's Gwen Stefani. And then they kept showing her, and I was like, okay, it's definitely Gwen Stefani. But you can't forget about Blake Shelton being up there, pretty cool. My dad was a huge fan of The Voice, so Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton, judges on that show, pretty cool. So
I remember when I was younger, I used to like wake up. One of her songs, "Sweet Escape," was like my alarm clock song. So I guess it was pretty cool.
Is she gonna be the face of this run you guys are about to go on?
Hopefully, yeah. We need her to come watch some more games. Hopefully, she's good luck.
Oh, that was sick. So sick. I even turned around to you. I was like, yo, is that Gwen? So that was pretty cool. I didn't know she was from me. I'm saying, we were joking with Stefani because it looked like she had a Stefanik jersey on.
It was all poetic justice, right? With Gwen Stefani in the house, Michael Stefanik with the walk-off. It wasn't lost on him either. But Tim, I'm going to test your fandom right now. Yes, I am. She is coming back. She's playing across the street at the Honda Center in early September for their 30th anniversary celebration. So you tell me, what's your favorite tune from No Doubt? I'm putting you on the spot.
Don't speak.
Oh, good choice. Excellent choice. And I'm going to do just that, and I'm going to stop speaking.
Oh,
My wife It wears. I mean, I do play a lot of her songs. My kids, my daughters, you know, we play a lot of their songs, and my wife's like, okay, I'm done with that voice. And I'm like, no, I want more of it.
Erica Weston, thank you so much for that. You know what? I like what she was saying. Maybe there's a rally Stefani going on here. You know what I mean? Maybe we're just pumping the No Doubt and Gwen Stefani throughout the Big A here, and all of a sudden we're going to go on a run, boys.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, I asked GA, I go, did you guys know when there was a celeb in town? You're like, nah, not really, unless they put them on the big screen.
Yeah, unless they put them on the Jumbotron, we would never know.
Yeah. Did you have any, did anyone jump out at you that you remember being in the crowd?
I don't think anybody was really watching us for a long time either. I mean, we weren't very good for a long time. So
yeah,
when we started winning,
found out here on the West Coast. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah, you know what? We were grinders. We were too busy worrying about what's going on between the lines.
Well, I mean, we got a chance. They came in the clubhouse like De La Hoya and Sugar Shane, and
there you go.
And the great John Wooden.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, gents. Yeah, once again, Stefani across the street, September 23rd at Honda Center for the 30th anniversary show over there. Be a lot of fun. But you know what? More fun would be for this guy to have a big game tonight as we talk about Sandy taking the hill against the Yanks.
Let me show you how to... It's a nice steady rhythm to the games now with the pitch timer. Can't look away.
And the pitch. And a ground ball toward the home base hit. They're going to wave him in. He is safe. A walk-off wild one. Oh, wow.
I'ma do what? That's on me. I'm a young boy, but I'll keep it OG. No, you can't shine me, stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. I'ma do what? That's on me. I'm a young boy, but I'll keep it OG. No, you can't shine me, stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. Don't want that stuff, but that's on me. Built the house, I got the keys. They say you can't shine me, stay low key. That's on me, on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Experience amazing. If you haven't noticed, the Yankees are in town taking on the Halos. Game 2 of a 3-game series here at the Big A. And the Angels looking for their second straight win against the Bronx Bombers. As welcoming back inside the Big A, Kent French alongside Halo Hall of Famers Tim Salmon, Garrett Anderson. Gents, we saw what Griffin Canning did last night. 6 innings, 120 pitches with 12 punch-outs. The 12 strikeouts on 120 as far as pitches, excuse me. Those are both career high for him. So Patrick Sandoval needs to take to the hill, Tim. He needs to come up with another big performance because the bullpen has been taxed. Sandy's gone 5 innings in each of his last 3 starts, but the Halos have lost 8 of his last 9 starts. What does he need to do to find some consistency?
Well, and they're hitting 297 in that period of time, too. So finding consistency is finding consistency with his pitches. Yeah, everybody knows he has a great changeup. Everybody knows that 72% of the time he's going to throw an off-speed pitch. Maybe they know that too well. Maybe you need to mix things up. Who knows? But the slider kind of works as his fastball. He throws his slider 29% of the time. But in the last, well, handful of games, he hasn't been throwing for strikes as much and maybe not getting quite as many guys swinging at it. And I think, to me, I was talking to Mark Langston about this a little bit, and Sandy's always had some issues with his mechanics as far as he can be quick to the plate. Does he have a consistent release point? Rotate or game to game. It seems like he's having some issues. That San Diego start, he only gave up 2 runs, but he was in traffic all the time. He was behind in the count. He couldn't get that slider over for strikes as much as he liked. He's had some issues with some walks the last few starts. I think the key for him is just slowing things down, get back to the basics, get that slider over for a strike if you're going to throw it. Don't be giving him good looks in the dirt when it's a ball, and let that changeup play. I mean, his changeup's a great pitch. Show that fastball just enough to get him on it, but that slider has got to be, he has to be more effective with that.
Yeah, Yankees, you saw there the stat, 29th in baseball against the off-speed pitch. So you'll see a lot of that as you're talking about potentially here tonight. Let's go over to Domingo Germán, who, by the way, 19.1 innings. He's given up just 3 runs over that, including a perfect game, GA, back on July 28th.
Yeah,
what makes him good?
Job in that game. I know it's the age, but it's a major league team, and he threw all his pitches all night, had great defense play behind him, and he is stingy out there. And the Angel hitters, they're going to see a lot of curveballs tonight, so hopefully they stay back and wait on him.
The one thing about Germán that's a little different than most pitchers in this day and age is he works in the bottom half of the zone, where everybody talks about getting the fastball up in the zone. He works down in the zone, and that slider, that curveball he throws, it almost looks like a slider. It doesn't look like it has as much tilt on it, but it's the change of speed, and I think that's what's really been successful. He gets a lot of, the ground ball average is ridiculous. He's #1 in baseball. He gets a lot of soft hit when guys are making contact, a lot of ground ball outs, and then that curveball is going to get guys out in front of it because of the speed differential between that and the fastball.
GA, in his last 3 starts, he's given up 1 hit, 9 hits, and no hits. So this is a guy that's certainly kind of up and down a little bit. You saw he's 5-5. Yeah, he's got the perfect game, but he's certainly you can do some damage against this guy.
You can, but like Tim says, if he keeps the ball down, it's always tough to hit, regardless if you're trying to hit the ball in the air. So his up and down probably has a lot to do with his control and being up in the zone. His strength is being down in the zone.
Yeah, the Angels combined 1 for 13 against Germán. The guys that have faced him, the only guy with a hit is Hunter Renfroe. So we'll see if they can turn things around here tonight as we take another time out here on Angels Live, coming at you from inside the Big A. When we do come back, though, Moose and the boys getting ready to take on the Yankees. We got lineups. We'll show you where Shohei is hitting here tonight as the Angels look to make it 2 in a row.
See it.
He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start. He took a home run away.
Live it.
That is as good as it gets.
The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you. With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network. MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
And you know who that is? That's Lucy Sloth. Yeah, 4 years old today. Happy birthday. She loves her fries because it's the day after the Angels won at home. All you have to do is have a $1 minimum purchase at participating SoCal McDonald's and go get your fries. Happy birthday, Lucy. Let's have another birthday present for you here today. There she is. She's She likes her fries. Oh, my goodness. Get her some water. Let's take a look at the Angels lineup that Phil Nevin will be sending out on the field here. Neto will be leading things off. Stefani in the number 9 spot. You know what? Trey Cabbage, his 3rd straight start at first base, Tim, and he has been playing well. He's got games with back-to-back doubles right now.
Yeah, he's got a nice swing work, and I love the balance of this lineup. Righty, lefty, lefty, righty, lefty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. I mean, that's, to me, I love when I see balance because it doesn't allow the starting pitcher to get locked in on one side of the plate, and you need everything you can to go up against Domingo Germán.
Yeah, a lot of home runs in that lineup, as we talked about. 16 straight games with at least 1 home run from the Angels. As we turn our attention to the Yankees, GA, and we know about no Judge, but what about Stanton and Rizzo, a combined 0 for 10 with 5 Ks last night?
Yeah, it seems like we're seeing them at the right time. You know, no Judge in the lineup, and it definitely has effect on the other players around him, and they feed off of him. So it's nice to see that they're able to take advantage of this situation.
Yeah, you know, Rizzo hasn't hit a home run in 42 games. I hope I didn't just jinx us right there.
That scares me, though, too, right?
It does. I mean, you feel like the guys do, but what a great hitter, and to be in a patch like that, a spell like that, that's pretty long. And of course, their sensational shortstop Volpe, he's hitting .079 in his last 10 games. Welcome to big league, second time through the lineup. Second time through the league. That happens, right?
Yes,
it happens to the best of them.
All right, it's about time for Angels baseball. The energy is high, and hopefully we'll have another no-doubter here tonight at the Big A as Sandy takes to the hill for the Halos. Neto and the boys getting ready. It's Yankees, it's Angels, and it's coming at you next from the Big A.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
It's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Jeremy Peña, the world champion shortstop with movie star presencia.
Every Dominican wants to grow up and play baseball, bro.
When I was 13, I was like, the plan is to get to the big leagues.
I love seeing young Dominicans win, bro, because I'm an old Dominican.
Ya tú sabes que el dominicano que juega, todo el mundo juega pelota. Hey, we're just looking forward to playing again, man. This is going to be a fun year.
Salud a la vida más linda.
Salud, hermano.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
Valley Sports West, the heart of the fan.
Last night's game was bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Shohei Ohtani is hella good. Michael Stefani knew how to end it on this. And the Halos had a sweet escape. Angel Stadium turned into a tragic kingdom for the Yankees, but there's no reason to settle down. The Halos will be looking for greener pastures as they try to catch the Yankees in their spider web once more. It's a brand new day, and the climb continues. Happy now? Holla back, because it's time for Angels baseball. Shohei Ohtani ripped his 35th home run, a blast and a thrill here at Angel Stadium last night as the Angels took Game 1. And now tonight, Game 2 brought to you by Arco between the Angels and the Yankees from Angel Stadium. Alongside Mark Gubas, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby, the Angels got it done in a big way last night in front of Gwen Stefani herself.
You know, Wayne, that was a lot of fun. I mean, she had so much energy. So did the Angels last night to be able to come back like Michael Stefani with that big walk-off hit. But last night, Shohei Ohtani, another home run. That's 12 home runs. 7th inning or later in the last 28-game span. That's the most in Major League history. You go back to June 12th to this point right now. Shohei Ohtani is crushing in those big crunch moments. Back-to-back-to-back games for Shohei with home runs. And then Michael Stefani, or should I say Michael Stefani, with the walk-off hit, scoring Chad Wallach in there. The energy level on this team, I mean, they've been fighting for such a long period of time. What a win against the New York Yankees.
Can we call comebacks hollabacks from now on?
Yes, we can give
them. Well, that's good then. The Angels get Game 1 against the Yankees. They'll try to holla back in Game 2 against the Bronx Bombers. Shohei Ohtani in the lineup. He's the DH, and he'll try to hit home run number 36 tonight as the Angels try to make it a series win against New York.
This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network. If you love baseball, you need to watch Baseball's show of record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? These guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Ohtani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Oh, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then, as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late-night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight, every night on MLB Network.
Loco. Bueno, hay que conmemorar la vaina, loco. Una corona que no la mete. Ay, ay, ay. Me debe una. No había visto una ciudad así tan bonita, ¿no? Wow. El estadio ya se ve. Pues para la segunda casa. Dame tu secreto de la vida más bien. Yo me disfruto lo más que yo pueda de mi vida. Salud. La vida más fina.
On this homestand for the Angels, a wild one Saturday night Game that ended 13-12 on a throwing error by Greg Kessinger, which allowed Trey Cabbage to score the winning run in extra innings. And then last night, well, another Angels contributor coming up from the minor leagues, Michael Stefanik, had a walk-off base hit with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th, scoring Chad Wallach for the game winner. And the Angels are 2-2 now on this homestand. They'll try to get above 500 against the Yankees next.
It's like that.
Got it, but stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we bring it to you. It's like that.
This is Garrett Cole. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Garrett Cole plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Before they flash the leather on the field, they'll flash the style on the carpet. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show, July 11th on MLB Network.
Angels ready to go against the Yankees tonight. It's Patrick Sandoval. Could use a good outing here this evening.
Going against the Yankees, the importance of putting up some zeros early on to get the offense going. My go-tos for Sandoval to be able to put up those zeros early in this game against the Yankees is consistent depth on his slider. 20 strikeouts with his slider so far this season. Also getting chases on his changeup. Just under 40%, 39.8% whiff percentage versus his changeup.
Leadoff batter for the Yankees, Oswald Peraza, walked 4 times yesterday, reached base 5 times, and he chases on the first pitch of the night for a strike as the first base umpire Marvin Hudson makes sure of it.
The marvelous one.
Yeah, marvelous Marvin Hudson. Ryan Blackney behind the plate. Swing and a miss by Peraza, and Sandoval off to an 0-2 start.
That was a real good changeup after a fastball away. It's a good combination there.
Sandoval trying to put Peraza away, and it's 1 ball 2 strikes. Sandoval hasn't pitched since July 5th. Part of that with the All-Star break. They didn't put him right back in right away after the break. This is the Angels' 5th game since the All-Star break ended. Peraza trying to hold his swing, and that time it looks like he did. So now after Sandoval was ahead, gets into an even count, but 13 days since his last start. Could that layoff do him some good?
I think part of it too, he was working on some things. Remember, he threw all those innings, some big innings in the World Baseball Classic for Team Mexico. So it's not a bad thing to have that.
Bouncer to Mike Moustakas, and Peraza was not retired at all yesterday, is to start the game today. Yankee lineup looks a whole lot different without Aaron Judge in terms of OPS plus. Well, a lot of guys in double digits with the exception of Gleyber Torres, and Rizzo really just riding a hot start. He has not homered since May 20th. So the Yankees are searching for offense without Aaron Judge. It's been a struggle for them to score. And here's Gleyber Torres with 1 out in the top of the first. Torres is riding an 8-game hitting streak and also a 6-game streak with at least 2 hits in each game. If he gets to 7, it'll be the longest by a Yankee since Robinson Cano in 2012, don't you know?
Good one there, Wayne. Way to go. You're ready to rock and roll.
Well, I saw John on my way back into the booth. John Sterling made the trip. I'm told he loves this part of the country and enjoys his time here in Southern California.
Yes, he does. Legend.
Yes. Susan Waldman said John would never miss coming here. So there is John. We're happy to have John and Susan here.
Notice it a little bit too, Wayne, with Sandoval. He had that long period of time. Could you work on some things mechanically? He's getting a better hip turn so far in this game, even though ground ball out behind the count 2-1. I'm seeing some pretty good balance over the pitching rubber.
3 balls, 1 strike on Torres. Sandoval faced the Yankees earlier this year, and a rough first inning. He actually did pitch better the few innings after that. He allowed 5 runs in the first inning in that game. Ended up walking 6. Full count now on Torres. Sandoval's only won once since beating the Cardinals on May 2nd. That was 7 scoreless innings in Kansas City.
Again, it comes down to, for Sandoval, is this also trusting his fastball enough to be able to use that fastball to set up his very good secondary pitches. He's got a number of them. They get it swing and misses, high whiff percentages versus his slider, his changeup, his curveball, his sweeper. But it's still all set up by his command and trust of his fastball.
Got a full count on Torres. And that just missed ball 4, just off the inside corner. So the Yankees have their first base runner. Comes on a 1-out walk in the top of the first.
He missed by a whole lot off that inside corner. Very close to being a strike. And he did hold up, though. So this is the batter right here. I think when you look throughout this game for Patrick Sandoval, he's the guy you have to really be focused on, is Giancarlo Stanton.
Soft bouncer from Stanton, picked by Moustakas. Looked to second base, but takes the sure out at first. And Torres advances on the second out of the inning.
Let's take a look at that defense today for the Angels on Easton and Easton defense. Gwen Stefani at second base, 5 career double plays, turned 1,000 fielding percentage at second base. So Cabbage at first, Mike Moustakas making a couple good plays at third. Zach Neto at short, Dice behind the play in the outfield. Taylor Ward, Mickey Moniak, and Hunter Renfroe. Good seeing some ground ball action here early on for Sandoval. Just under 50% this season at 49.6%, but that's down somewhat from what he was in the past. He got a lot more ground ball outs so far as a couple soft contact grounders at third.
Here is Anthony Rizzo. He's hit well against lefties this year as he takes ball 1 from Sandoval. Sandoval's gotten fewer and fewer ground balls as the season has gone along.
That tells me that means a lot of his pitches have been elevated and made more baseballs hit in the air. When he's down with his changeup, slider, and his curveball, he's going to get more ground balls.
There's a strike to Rizzo, who is hitting .364 against lefties on the season. It's the highest among left-handed batters in the major leagues.
He's right on top of the plate. He's daring you as a left-handed pitcher to try to get him out away. To get him out, you really have to be able to throw that ball inside as a left-handed pitcher.
It's a ground ball to first as it is bobbled briefly but handled by Cabbage. Flip to Sandoval on a scoreless top of the first.
Create amazing work with Fiverr. All you need is your team and a talented freelancer who will lend a hand and seamlessly join your team from just about anywhere. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab.
You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Oura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleep with auraring.com.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers, like we do. Oh, hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You could try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Buick GMC saw the OPS plus for the Yankee hitters. All of them, or most of them at least, under 100. For the Angels, most of them above 100. Look at Shohei Ohtani, almost 200. He's almost doubled the league at this point. He bats in the 2-hole tonight. Mickey Moniak has certainly been impressive as he hits third and plays center field. The Angels will take their cuts against right-hander Domingo Germán, who threw a perfect game back on June 28th in Oakland.
He's not overpowering with fastball velocity, 91, 95, but he has a very good plus curveball and changeup.
Germán has had some wild swings up and down this year. In the 2 starts before the perfect game, he allowed a total of 17 runs over a span of 5 1/3 innings. Then he threw a perfect game against the Oakland A's, and he's been pretty good since then. Gave up just 1 hit in his last start against the Cubs. Zach Neto throws the bat, and a pop-up falls in for a base hit. Giancarlo Stanton in right field. Not quite the outfielder that Aaron Judge is, and Neto was able to bloop that one right in front of him.
And that's why it's so impossible, you think, to throw a perfect game. Something like that falls in. That's why it's so impressive when you're able to throw a perfect game. Everything has to go exactly the right way for you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it happens.
Yes.
24 perfect games in Major League history. And 2 of them are in the ballpark tonight. Domingo Germán for the Yankees on the mound tonight, and David Cone, who threw one on this date in 1999 in the Yankee TV booth. And here's Shohei, 35 home runs. Number 35 was a thriller last night, complete with an epic bat flip.
And he said today Zach Neto is going to have that hop type lead. See that with Anthony Volpe too. We'll try to get some momentum going. He's got 5 stolen bases, 5 attempts for Neto.
Big swing. That was a changeup dead center. And Shohei was just out in front. Had he waited back a little longer, home run number 36 would have just happened.
And he's been hitting changeups in all speed very, very well. First pitch breakable too. You're going to see a lot of aggressive swings against Germán today. Some huge numbers against him on the first pitch when it's put in play.
Domingo Germán with another off-speed pitch, this time a curveball, and he strikes out Shohei.
In my go-tos to have success against him, especially scoring some early runs against Germán today, is attack that first pitch. Mentioned 311 batting average, slugging at .867, 7 home runs allowed on the very first pitch put in play. And Power's mistake curveball, he's got a very good curveball, but he has allowed 7 home runs versus his curveball this season.
Throw to first, chases back Neto. Now that Shohei's had his at bat, we'll see if Neto thinks about getting started here.
Germán has allowed 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts. He does have 1 pickoff.
Neto is 5 for 5 in his stolen base tries this year. Got a big lead dancing around, and the pickoff attempt gets away. He doesn't realize it as it goes over toward the Yankee dugout.
It hit him pretty good. Got him right in the face.
Well, Neto got locked up on a slide into home plate yesterday as he took the face mask from Trevino to the face. And now he gets hit again on a ball that bounced off the front of the Yankee dugout. The Yankees catching a break. Not only Neto not realizing the ball had gotten away, but the ball hit off the front of the dugout. Had that rolled in, Neto would have advanced a base.
At least I think from that angle, looked like it got the helmet don't know if it got his ear also.
Matt Biancuzzo, one of the trainers for the Angels, taking a look at Neto and really kind of going through, I'm sure, some sort of standard concussion protocol here. Phil Nevin over there as well, as Neto got hit on the side of the helmet. He's smiling and seems to have his wits about him at the moment. This was last night when Neto had his jaw run into the face mask of Trevino. And Neto was shaken up after that as well. So Zach Neto trying to make sure his head is clear. The Angels trying to make sure of that as well. Can't mess around in that concussion area. And Zach seems okay for now.
He's still asking where'd that baseball end up going.
Well, don't tell him it ended up near the dugout. He'd probably be upset he didn't advance.
Yeah, knowing him, yes.
So Phil Nevin walks off with the trainer Matt Biancuzzo, and now it's Mickey Moniak still at the plate, waiting for the first offering from Germán.
Really gonna have to stay back on that changeup. He's got really good arm action on it. Whiff percentage over 29%, 16 strikeouts, 176 batting average versus changeup.
Moniak with a fly ball to right field. This one's going to go a long way. Mickey Moniak has given the Angels an early 2-0 lead.
Boy, after an awkward swing on a changeup, he gets a four-seam fastball. Mickey Moniak jumps on it. Another home run early in the game for Mickey Moniak. With a fine swing on that one to drive it out, giving him number 11 and 31 RBI on the season. Everyone was asking last night, Aaron Boone, why did you pitch to Shohei Ohtani? He mentioned Mickey Moniak and his ability to drive the baseball. Well, there he is, first inning, drives it out of the yard.
Well, that is important to have that bat behind Shohei Ohtani right now, as the Angels have had their fair share of injuries. Taylor Ward trying to hold his swing, but if there is any way to pause the opposing manager to pitch to Shohei because of the guy behind him, well, that's huge for this ball club. And Mickey Moniak creating more evidence that, well, maybe it's worth it to just try to pitch to whoever's at the plate. Germán's now given up 17 home runs this year. The only hit he allowed in his last start was a home run.
Boy, this is a pitch right on the inside part of the plate, and he was able to get the barrel of the bat on it and quick enough. Not, like I mentioned, not an overpowering fastball by Germán. It's all set up by his really good changeup. Bad swing, off balance swing on a changeup, and he drives the fastball out.
Ground ball to third, picked by Peraza. Low throw, but LeMahieu stays with it, and Taylor Ward retired.
Bench loving that early support for Patrick Sandoval on that swing from Mickey Moniak. Another home run, 145th home run this season for the Angels.
Well, that's a whole lot of homers. The Angels have hit home runs now in 17 consecutive games as a team, one off the 1982 record for the ball club when they homered in 18 straight. Doug DeCinces cracked a dozen home runs during that 18-game stretch in 1982 as the Angels were building their playoff resume. Across the majors, only the Braves and the Dodgers have hit more home runs than the Angels. First in the American League at 145. Two balls and a strike on Mike Moustakas.
That early today, they was just working a lot on soft toss. Early workout for Moustakas. Part of it is because Germán has such a good changeup to be able to keep her hands back on it.
Popped up on the infield as Peraza Backs up onto the outfield grass to win the inning. The Angels take the lead. A bloop hit from Neto, a bloop and a blast. Mickey Moniak providing the blast. A 2-run homer, and the Angels a 2-0 lead.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. Come on! And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
If sports fans built a streaming service.
Movies and shows, live TV, more local sports. This is your big three that crushes cable.
Andy changed the batteries on all 3 smoke detectors.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car. Then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
Angels with a 2-0 start. Patrick Sandoval scoreless top of the first, and then Mickey Moniak a 2-run homer off Domingo Germán. So Sandoval's got the lead, and DJ LeMahieu leads off. LeMahieu is the first baseman tonight. Anthony Rizzo is DHing.
Always has that swing where he hits the ball real good and hard to the right side of the field, whether it's on the ground or in the air.
He's had some great years. Bouncing ball here. Zach Neto with the scoop. The throw on the run to retire LeMahieu. One away here in the top of the second. Well, with Gwen Stefani here last night, Erica Weston was certainly starstruck. She's trying to be the mean Gene to Gwen Stefani's Hulk Hogan.
I'm trying to make it happen so that we get more Gwen Stefani in the house. You know, she's going to be the face of this run that the Angels are going to go on. But it was so cool having her in the house last night, and everything's bigger when the Yankees are in town, of course. But the good news is that she was here because she and her husband, Blake Shelton, just wanted to come in and catch a game at her hometown. The OC Queen, look at, she documented everything on her social media. That was, she even got Shohei Ohtani's home run, which I thought was pretty cool. We were starstruck, but so were the guys in the dugout, which was pretty funny. And they showed the celebrity lookalikes. All of a sudden, Andrew Velasquez turned around and he said, was that really Gwen Stefani? They were just as starstruck as the rest of us. So she is, you know, playing at the Honda Center in September, guys. So who knows? She might come back, make another appearance. We're going on a field trip? We might be going on a field trip. Maybe she's going to come back, be our good luck charm. But Wayne, Gooby and I talked about this already on today's episode of Angels Weekly. So I'm putting you on the spot. Give me your best no doubts on go.
Well, don't speak. How could it? Is there another one?
Of course, there's plenty of options. You pick the lowest hanging fruit, but it's fine. You'll go. That's fine. That's a good choice. It's a good option.
I love that song.
Sold. There you go.
Oh, wow.
3 balls, no strikes on Bader. Which one did you pick?
Well, it's my Hyundai key for the game today coming up shortly. We're waiting till the Halos are at the plate.
All right. Well, a walk to Bader, who has pretty good speed, a 1-out walk, and that's 2 walks now from Sandoval. Remember, he walked 6 at Yankee Stadium when he faced this team earlier this year. And here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who found his way on base a few times yesterday. Yankees had 8 hits, just 1 extra base hit, and they had no extra base hits on Sunday in Colorado.
You want to make sure you've already gotten 4 ground ball outs already for Patrick Sandoval. That's a good sign to see him getting baseballs hit on the ground, but you've got to be in attack mode, especially when your offense scores you 2 runs in the first.
This is a required monthly test of the emergency alert system. Had this been an actual emergency or dangerous situation, official messages and directions would have followed the alert tones. This test is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and your local broadcast station or cable provider. This concludes the required monthly test.
We've seen a lot of throws at first base is right at the runner. Used to be throw at the bag. You're throwing right at the runner. We'll have a shot at a strike him out, throw him out now.
See if Bader runs on a 3-2 pitch to Kiner Falefa. That's not close. Sandoval went to the changeup and left it way up.
Let's take a look at the separation of speeds of Patrick Sandoval's pitches. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. His four-seam fastball average about 92.5. Just a little bit less on that on a sinker. Sliders a pretty firm one at 86.5. Changeup at 83 though. Big separation for me is going to be that curveball at 76 miles per hour. Also starting to mix in a few more sweepers. It's more of a variation between his slider and curveball combination.
I wouldn't say that Sandoval is wild. You know, there's been some spurts of wildness, I guess, but it always seems like it's just a problem finishing his pitches instead of really just lacking command.
And sometimes too, even on a 3-2 count there, you got to have a lot of trust in that feeling that you're going to get a fastball, you're going to be able to keep it down, you're going to get a ball hit on the ground. It may be a base hit. But when you force yourself into always throwing something secondary, it's a more difficult pitch to throw for a strike.
2 on for Higashioka. And there's a landed curveball for a strike. Higashioka has always been a guy who not been much of a hitter, but he can run into one every once in a while. There's power there. So you have to respect that with the Yankee catcher. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. It's 0-2. Higashioka is from Huntington Beach. He was a 7th-round pick of the Yankees in 2008 out of Edison High School. So certainly a homecoming for Higashioka back to Orange County.
Yeah, very good high school baseball program, Edison High School.
Jeff Kent went there.
So 2 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. So far in this game for Sandoval, he's thrown 8 changeups, but only twice has he thrown it for a strike.
Swing and a miss. Sandoval pulls the string nicely and strikes out Huntington Beach's Kyle Higashioka.
A good buddy, Hank Conger from Huntington Beach High School.
Cleanup on aisle 3 here in the booth. Where's Dean?
That was a good change. That was a good sequence of pitches too.
2 outs. Here's Volpe. Check swing foul. Diet Coke everywhere, and Dean gave you 1 napkin. Thanks a lot. Volpe had a tough time at the plate last night. Struck out 4 times. Also had a single and a run scored. Swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2 as Volpe, who struck out to end the 10th inning. Aaron Loup was outstanding in the top of the 10th last night, striking out the last 2 hitters.
Yeah, especially when you're put in a situation where you have that runner starting at second base.
Phil Nevin said that was the best he has seen Loup. Although I saw him with the Mets 2 years ago, that was pretty good too. Volpe with a little roller to third. Moustakas comes in to grab it, throws it on the run, and that ends the inning. A shutdown inning from Patrick Sandoval.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
It's like that. Got it, stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we bring it to you. It's like that.
The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Before they flash the leather on the field, they'll flash the style on the carpet. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show, July 11th on MLB Network.
Today, go no doubt. Stefani, what are you waiting for? Mickey Moniak, what are you waiting on? 2-run home run. Halos up 2-0 in the first. Gwen Stefani all day long here today.
Big appearance from Gwen Stefani here at Angel Stadium last night. Riled everybody up.
Yes.
Brought her husband too, if you're interested in his music.
Yes, very much so.
Blake Shelton. I don't like country music. Can I say that now that we're a couple months out from our Dizzle? 2 balls, no strike.
By the way, Blake Shelton's a big dude, man.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't tell him that. No, I'd be his biggest fan if he was sitting in here. 3 balls and no strikes. Be like Rodney Dangerfield. Well, looks good on you. Nice on a 3-0 check swing, fouls it off.
You see how frustrated for Matt Theis on that one too, because when you're given that green light, you want to have a pitch to drive. He got a changeup there. He was anticipating a fastball and he already started. That's why you step back out and just try to think, what is he going to throw? He threw a 2-0 curveball, threw a 3-0 changeup.
We've seen more and more 3-0 changeups or off speeds here lately. That was the last fastball count that existed. And that might be gone. There's another changeup on 3-1.
Left-handed batters 191 as compared to 225 versus right-handed batters. They did give up a home run on a fastball to Moniak.
It's the changeup again past Matt Theis, so 3 straight changeups after falling behind 3-0 as Germán gets a strikeout. Well, give up a blue pit to the first batter he faced tonight. A few weeks ago in Oakland, though, he retired all 27 batters that he faced. Game ending with a ground out from Esteuri Ruiz. And Domingo Germán was perfect on June 28th, 2023 at the Oakland Coliseum. The 24th perfect game in Major League history.
And so often you hear the pressure on a pitcher on that way. I'll tell you what, the position players, that's where the pressure is at. With a perfect game, you have to make every play your way.
It's the first perfect game in the big leagues in over 11 years. And I said earlier, it's rare that two pitchers who threw perfect games are in the same ballpark at the same time. But now, in many cases, Germán and David Cone are, because Cone is the Yankees TV analyst for select games, and he is working in this series. There's Mark Gubiza's former roommate. Hunter Renfroe strikes out. David Cone's perfect game was actually on this date in 1999, 24 years ago, against the Montreal Expos at Yankee Stadium on a day where they honored Yogi Berra, and Don Larson was at that game.
Both of them at that game, and I remember talking to Coney after that. He said, you know what, everything he had working at that. He didn't have that overpowering fastballs at that point of his career, but his breaking stuff, those arm angles, the way he'd be able to stay on top of that pitching rubber longer, the hesitation. You were never comfortable in the batter's box against David Cone.
And we level up with American Express as we see the Yankee perfectos, Don Larson in 1956 in the World Series. David Wells and David Cone in back-to-back years. Wells in '98 and Cone in '99, and then Domingo Germán this year. 4 times the Yankees have done it. That's most any franchise has had. Some franchises don't have any. Cabbage fooled by the breaking ball from Domingo Germán, who strikes out the side in the second.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me. But I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. I'ma do what? That's on me. But I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. Don't want that stuff, but that's on me. Built the house, I got the keys. They say you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Sandoval has been throwing a sweeper of late. Beginning part of the season, not a whole lot of use of his sweeper, but that pitch has been effective going along with his slider and his curveball. And the difference in the spin rate between his slider and his sweeper is significant. Sweeper there just under 26 RPM, so it's more of a slower breaking ball, but more depth to it versus with horizontal break and vertical break, because it's a little bit slower as far as velocity, more spin on that when it's compared to his normal slider.
Top of the order for the Yankees here in the third. This has been a tough inning for Sandoval this year. Really the first and the third. 60% of the runs he's allowed have been in those 2 innings. The third inning even more so. He has given up a third of his runs for the season in just this 1 inning.
More walks in this inning too, with 7 walks in the third inning this season.
Two balls and a strike.
A tough time commanding the zone with his changeup so far, leaving a lot of those changeups upstairs.
3 walks already for Sandoval. Curveball lands there though, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Oswald Peraza. Trying to establish himself. These Yankees with big numbers. Number 91 Peraza, Venezuelan. Really a shortstop by trade. He is playing third base today.
He's thrown his changeup 12 times today. Only 4 times he's thrown in a strike, and every one of them is almost that exact same spot, well above the strike zone. It means he's flying open that front shoulder, not staying out and getting out in front with it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. A good tight slider there to strike out Peraza, and Sandoval has his second punch out.
What I mean sometimes on his changeup, that means that front shoulder's opened up a little bit, but on the slider, he kept that front shoulder in. He attacked that inside part with that hard slider. Changeup, he's leaving that out in front and not finishing off. A lot of times that we've talked about that as far as a pitcher, when you think about a changeup, you almost, when you throw it, you almost can pick up the dirt on the mound in front of you. That means you're getting out in front with it.
Swing and a miss by Gleyber Torres, who decided to chase Eduardo Escobar around during batting practice today with a toy cat.
That kind of scares me, that stuff.
High fly ball off the bat of Torres. If this is fair, it is gone, and that is a fair ball and a home run. Sandoval left the breaking ball up, and Gleyber Torres just sent it out to the left field corner. A high arching fly ball to make it 2-1 Angels.
A launch angle of 38 degrees on that one. Be able to hit that one that far with that exit velocity. You know it's going out with that launch angle. Now that's the 4th home run that Sandoval has allowed in the 3rd inning. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs. 7 home runs total on the season, but the fourth one in the 3rd inning. And that was a sweeper he just left upstairs.
That ball was up, and Torres made sure it stayed up and out. Stanton looks at a strike. Patrick Sandoval now in the season has allowed just 7 home runs in 87 innings.
Pretty amazing though, 4 of the 7 home runs allowed in this inning. Second time through, 336 against Sandoval this season. As compared to 215 the first time through, 3rd time through, 241 batting average.
1 ball, 1 strike on Stanton. The Yankees only had 1 extra base hit over the previous 2 games. Gleyber Torres has been their best hitter lately, and his homer makes it a 1-run game. And the Yankees homer, they do a whole lot better than when they don't. 4-21 in games where they don't hit home runs, the worst in the majors. Stanton fouls it off his foot. Really the big thing for the Yankees is not having Judge. This whole team is built around Aaron Judge. They have gone 15-20 since Judge ran into the wall at Dodger Stadium.
We've looked over the years, the Yankees teams have really been built around teams that hit home runs.
They've hit a lot this year. They're still in the top 5 in the major leagues. The lineup has certainly not had the same punch without the big man Judge. Stanton pretty big too, and he hits a giant size pop up on the infield. Zach Neto hopes this one comes down, and it finally does for the 2nd out. And there's Judge in and out of the lineup. Again, the record 15-20 since the injury. So the Yankees certainly not even close to the same team when they don't have that one player. And we talk about wins above replacement as being sort of diary for how a player performs and how important they are to the team. That number really doesn't do Judge justice, because you can see how different they are. When he's in and when he's not in, he is by far and away the most important player to one team, maybe in all of baseball, maybe with the exception of Shohei to this team.
Yeah, in back-to-back days he's taking batting practice, and he's starting to crush the baseball, which is a good sign if you're a Yankee fan and for Aaron Judge. Now it's just a matter of running and being comfortable running. But he's hit the ball really well. I was watching back-to-back days where he's staying on the baseball, and he's hitting mammoth home runs to right field, right center.
Well, even in Shohei's case, he has Mike Trout. I mean, really, those are the two, the tandem when Trout is in there. Rizzo, it's a bouncer up the middle, right over the second base bag where Zach Neto is there. And that ends the inning. A homer by Gleyber Torres gets the Yankees on the board.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans
and baseball players wake up to.
Show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Keep up with every team on MLB Network wherever you go. Just download the MLB app, click MLB Network, and sign in with your TV provider info. Then watch MLB Network all day, every day, your way.
It's a nice steady rhythm to the games now with the pitch timer. Can't look away.
And the pitch. And a ground ball toward the home base hit. They're going to wave him in. He is staying. A walk-off wild one. Oh, wow.
Base hit for Michael Stefani.
Just short through that baseball, making contact like he always does. Bringing home Chad Wallach with a walk-off base hit. Fourth walk-off W for the Halos this season, a first on a base hit.
Since Stefanik kind of looked like Dustin Pedroia.
Very much. What a great player he was.
Yeah. Well, it turns out he was Stefanik's favorite player. That's what Michael told me earlier. He said last night to the media that he was a big Red Sox fan growing up. Said he got turned on to the Red Sox watching them storm back in the 2004 American League Championship Series in their chaotic comeback down 3-0. They beat the Yankees to go to the World Series, eventually win the World Series and break the curse of the Bambino. Well, Stefanik was drawn in. He was a big Red Sox fan from there and fell in love watching Dustin Pedroia play. And obviously, in terms of looks and even the style that Stefanik has in his own game, there's some similarities there.
And you know that felt good beating the Yankees then with a base hit last night.
Gotta beat them.
Yes.
You're a Red Sox fan growing up, gotta beat the Yankees. Extra special. Full count now on Stefanik. Domingo Germán struck out the side in the second. He's fanned 4 so far. Stefanik, a guy who makes a lot of contact. You mentioned it last night when he was batting in the 10th inning. That would make him a tough customer in that spot.
You always hated facing a batter who's going to make contact. You better have a guy that can hit a ball 500 feet, but that means he's hitting mistakes. A contact hitter like Stefanik is going to put that baseball in play, and if you hit it the right spot, it's going to bring home a run.
Here's Zach Neto, a base hit and a run scored his first time. Neto blooped a ball in front of Stanton in right center field, and he came around when Mickey Moniak cracked a 2-run homer. Neto holding down shortstop and the leadoff spot while the Angels try to get healthy. Brandon Drury and Anthony Rendon could be back soon.
Tell you what, Mike Trout is starting to look really, really good. He's got a smile on his face today.
Now that'd be something if Trout could come back sooner than later. You never know with those hamate bone injuries and the surgery and how quickly a player can come back. 4 weeks is about the quickest. Normally it's in that 6-week range or so, maybe longer. 3-0 on Neto, and suddenly the strike zone being abandoned by Germán.
Most times I like to see a green light here, but no, with Shohei Ohtani coming up next, I think you're willing to take one pitch to make sure it's in the zone, because you're going to get the same pitch again 3-1.
Takes a crack at it and loops it toward the right field line. Going for it is Stanton, but it's a foul ball. There was no way Stanton was going to get to that had it stayed fair, but drops just foul.
That pitch was a little bit off the plate. Aaron Boone wanted to give Anthony Rizzo just a day off his feet and have him DH today, just try to get him back on track and putting Stanton out in right field. 14 games out there in right field, 1 outfield assist. He's got 65 career outfield assists in right field, but he hasn't played a whole lot of outfield lately.
There's ball 4 to Neto, so Germán has walked the first 2. Now Shohei Ohtani bats with 2 on and nobody out. Or Febreze fresh stats. It's always freshened up by Shohei. How about the most homers over a 40-game span in the last 20 years? Giancarlo Stanton at 25 in 40 games. The year he had 59 home runs in 2017. Ryan Howard had a huge year in 2006. And Shohei's working on his this year. 23 home runs in the last 40 games for Shohei Ohtani.
And he's also had quite a few strikeouts on the mound pitching during that stretch where he's home.
Yes, there is also that.
That's always that qualifier where there's always that slight separation.
Yeah. So back-to-back walks, and now the Yankees have to pitch to Shohei. Irritated all the Yankee fans in the New York sports media that were upset that Shohei was pitched to in the 7th inning yesterday when he tied the game. Aaron Boone had no regrets after pitching to Shohei, even after the home run, citing Mickey Moniak and what some of the others can do in an Angels lineup that can score a lot of runs. Even with the injuries, they still have scored a lot of runs. So take that, Boomer and Gio, and anybody else who has a problem with it.
Well, they are playing. Bader and Stanton are playing extremely deep out in the outfield. Hunter Falefa is playing a shallow left. And Shohei has good power that way, but he figures if he's squaring that one up, it's going over the fence. He's going to try to take that base hit away. He's hit a lot of baseballs that way for quite some time here in the last 10 games or so for Shohei.
Germán misses with the fastball, so it's 2 balls and a strike. Shohei leading the majors in so many categories. But most notably home runs, also total bases, extra base hits, slugging, OPS. He's tied for the league lead in triples and opponent's batting average.
Always get that excellent qualifier in there.
Now 3 balls and a strike, so if Germán doesn't come home to Shohei here with a strike, he's in danger of loading the bases with nobody out. And Moniak, who homered his last time, is on deck.
It's about 40% of the time on 3-1 counts he will throw a changeup.
And there was that changeup diving out of the zone and getting Shohei to go after it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's ball 4. Germán trying to tip the outside corner. Instead, he has walked the bases loaded. And here's Mickey Moniak.
Moniak going back into the first inning after a changeup. He got a fastball inside part of the plate, and he crushed it out for a 2-run home run. He has a good lift on that one. Moniak picks up his 11th home run of the season. See that bat track to be able to get those hands through the baseball. The bat speed at 72.2 miles per hour. Exit velocity just under 101 miles per hour to lift that one and get that out to right field.
There's a full meeting on the mound between Matt Blake, the interpreter, Higashioka, the catcher, the entire Yankee infield. Mickey Moniak bats with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Moniak always aggressive on the first pitch.
see why Aaron Boone cited Moniak's numbers as a reason to pitch to Shohei. Moniak's no slouch. 5th in the majors in OPS. He swings and misses on the first offering from Germán.
And that's one of those pitches as a pitcher, when you bases are loaded, that first pitch is such a huge one. If you get a hitter to chase on that one like he did, Moniak on that curveball, that gives you a better chance. If you let that one go, and you're forced now to throw a pitch in the middle of the plate.
See if it gets there. All the base runners reached on base on balls. 3 straight walks to begin the inning. Now the Angels trying to make Germán pay. Swing and a miss on the changeup.
When you shorten up, you think middle of the field. A lot of times hitters get up there with that mentality of a grand slam, but always believe as a hitter, middle of the field, get that 1 run in.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Moniak spit on the changeup that time. Germán on the ropes here in the 3rd. And Moniak strikes out. One big out for Germán and the Yankees.
Some changeups and slow curveballs. And another strikeout with his curveball. Coming in 63 of his 92 strikeouts have been on his curveball. He's got a couple already today on it.
Here's Taylor Ward. That's to the backstop. It bounces away from Higashioka. He throws it over the head of Germán. A run scores as Stefani touches at the plate. Neto holds up at 3rd. A wild pitch makes it 3-1.
So basically a gift run already by Germán in this inning. 3 walks and a wild pitch. And you're talking about a wild pitch.
Higashioka was hoping for a truer bounce right to him. Instead, he had to go for it. Stefani comes home, and that takes the double play out of the equation, too, now with Taylor Ward at the plate. Yankees bring the infielder.
Yep.
Over the fly ball to shallow left field. We'll see if Neto comes home. It's pretty shallow. And Neto will not tag on Kiner Falefa. He throws it back to the pitcher. So Ward pops out. And Germán really with a chance to escape, although he did give up the 1 run on his own wild pitch.
Yeah, but you got to be able to score maybe a couple runs here, especially with 3 walks to lead off this inning. Moustakas trying to come through now.
Moustakas popped out to 3rd his first time. Big empty hole on the 3rd base side. And Moustakas hits a bouncer to 1st, smothered by LeMahieu. So the Angels settle for 1 and they lead by 2.
If you love baseball, you need to watch baseball's show of record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? These guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Ohtani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight, every night on MLB Network.
It's the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan. Off Base, with interviews and coverage of baseball's hottest stars.
I've done a couple interviews in my life. This probably is the most fun I've ever been a part of.
Only on MLB Network.
Halos from the comfort of a suite at the Big A. Entertain guests with all-inclusive packages. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. Sit where Gwen and Blake were last night.
Sweets.
How sweet it is. Sweet escape. See, I'm learning.
There you go.
Domingo Germán was hoping for a sweeter escape than the one he had in the bottom of the third. Loaded the bases on walks. Didn't give up any hits after that, but he did allow a run. Could have been sweeter for the Angels had they gotten a hit, as their lead is now 3-1. No swing there from LeMahieu.
6 ground ball outs so far for Sandoval.
Something that has not quite been there as much lately. Getting more of those today. The one Yankee run has scored on a homer tonight. It was Gleyber Torres in the top of the third. 2 balls and a strike on LeMahieu, a former batting champion, a Gold Glove winner, an All-Star. Last couple of years, he has seen those numbers drop. He was not very healthy last year. May not be all that healthy this year, but he's playing through it. Fouls that one off of Theis, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Theis was an infielder, and they moved him around a little bit, but he certainly has the mentality and the toughness to be a catcher.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's getting a lot of playing time behind the plate, too. So amazing last year. His first start as a catcher behind the plate called a shutout. Granted, drafted as a catcher out of Virginia.
He walks like a catcher. He talks like a catcher. He looks like a catcher.
Tough like one.
Yeah. I think he's in the right position for himself, and he's done a good job. He's been sort of the primary catcher. He's improved behind the plate. He's got a very good arm back there. He swings the bat pretty well, too. Hard hit grounder by LeMahieu right at Zach Neto. Straightens and throws out LeMahieu. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Well, Theis right now holding it down until Logan O'Hoppe returns, which could be sooner than later, as Erica Weston explains.
Sure could be. 12 weeks to the day today for Logan O'Hoppe since he had that shoulder surgery, the torn labrum. And look at him here today, catching for the very first time. He joked to me and Gooby got to figure out how to remember to put his catching gear on. But he was out there today, catching today. He'll be alternating catching, swinging every other day. Said he's swinging about 50 to 75% right now, but he's feeling really good. And Phil Nevin always talks about having to kind of pull him back a little bit because he's ahead of schedule right now. They just want to make sure they take their time, but a big day for Logan O'Hoppe as he's strictly baseball activity moving forward.
Well, those hands look so quiet and smooth behind the plate too, Eric. I mean, the way he was framing pitches as a pitcher right now, you can't wait to get him back out there. And we know how well he swings the bat, but this is how quick and quiet those hands are.
Well, it's also been a learning experience for Logan O'Hoppe. He continues to chart pitches and be in all the starting pitcher meetings before games. You know, he has not for a moment been away from this team, really. Every road trip he's been on, every home game he's been at, it's been a consistent presence around here as he continues to learn about as much as he can from his position, about hitting, about playing at this level. Weak swing there by Bader, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And he has his respect from his pitching staff. Right after the first day of spring training, when Shohei Ohtani threw a bullpen session, he was basically, that's my guy. And he was thrown to him all the time from that point forward. That tells you how good of a receiver he is behind the plate.
They'll be happy to have him back. And in the meantime, we talked about Theis, who's done a good job. Chad Wallach's been involved and has helped handle the pitching staff too. Swing and a miss by Bader. Strike 3 as Sandoval gets his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, real good depth in that slider. Back-to-back hard, sharp sliders. Sandoval starts on the inside corner, well off the plate. All set up by 2 pitches before that was a good firm fastball.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa walked his first time. Got on base 3 times yesterday. Chops this ball to Zach Neto, the shortstop. Good throw to retire Kiner-Falefa. 1-2-3 inning, the first tonight for Patrick Sandoval.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want on the only live TV streaming service rated #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Try free at FuboTV.com.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's the secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers, like we do. Oh, hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
With everything you have on your plate, earning your degree online seems impossible. But at Grand Canyon University, we specialize in helping you fit a master's degree in business into your busy day. Your graduation team, led by your own GCU counselor, provides you with the personal support you need to succeed. Achieve your goals with a plan and team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Coming up on Friday, it is episode 3 of the spectacular Shohei. Let's take you back to Shohei Ohtani. He was ruled the plate, brought to you by Burger King. Ohtani with his 35 home runs, by far and away leads all of baseball.
Amazing. You look down at that Atlanta game today, 16-13 against Arizona, and no home runs for Matt Olson today in that game. Well, the Cardinals lost to the Falcons.
Plenty of folks in that game ruling the plate. Arizona beat Atlanta 16-13. Just never know which batch of baseballs is going to show up at the ballpark that particular day.
And there were some runs scored today in baseball. The Royals beat the Tigers 11-10. The Mets beat the White Sox 11-10. The Guardians scored 10. The Dodgers scored 10.
Mets had a big lead in that game over the White Sox and barely hung on. Cubs have a 15-3 lead on Washington.
So the hitters are timing's pretty good right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Must be it.
Speaking of timing, last night Matt Theis crushed one out the right center. The Halos on the board and got that momentum going.
It was a big blow last night. Theis's home run. It was a long one too, over 430 feet. Check swing chopper right to where Peraza was stationed, very wide of third. As Theis is retired, one away, and will drive around with Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
Here's Hunter Renfroe, struck out his first time. Mayhew in foul ground, retires him. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Cabbage, who struck out his first time. Germán's retired 5 in a row since loading the bases in the bottom of the 4th. Cabbage looks at a strike. A lot of power for Cabbage, 23 home runs in the minor leagues this year. Said being healthy has really allowed him to turn the corner and get to the big leagues. A long road for Cabbage, who has a big swing.
Yeah, it's back-to-back 92-mile-an-hour fastballs. Cabbage going up to the plate thinking he might be seeing off speed between curveball and changeup. Got 2 92s.
Cabbage at 27 homers in the minors a couple of years ago. Last year missed most of the season with a fractured left forearm. Got his family here over the weekend to see his big league debut. His first big league hits on Sunday. And he strikes out on a high fastball from Germán. So 1-2-3 inning. Angels have a lead through 4 and a lovely night at the Big A.
With everything you have on your plate, earning your degree online seems impossible. But at Grand Canyon University, we specialize in helping you fit a master's degree in business into your busy day. Your graduation team, led by your own GCU counselor, provides you with the personal support you need to succeed. Achieve your goals with a plan and team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Aura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleepwithauraring.com.
Let's talk about ED. As you get a little older, things tend to work a little differently.
I felt shame, embarrassment, guilt.
Like something had been knocked out from underneath me. What HIMSS does is says, hey, look, don't worry about it. We got this part covered. 100% online.
The whole process was very discreet.
It made me feel like I'm a rock star.
This product has changed my life.
When it kicked in, I said, yeah, I'm back. I remember this feeling.
Get started today at 4hims.com.
Against the Yankees, Patrick Sandoval's only allowed 1 hit so far. It was a home run to Gleyber Torres, accounting for the only New York run. Angels have just 2 hits, none since Mickey Moniak's home run in the first inning. As Kyle Higashioka leads off the 5th. Pops this one up foul and out of play. Sandoval's retired 5 straight since the Torres homer. Patrick Sandoval trying to have a steady second half after some bumps along the road in the first half.
He was really good in the second half last season. Ended up with an ERA under 3.
The Angels can get some performances from Sandoval. Saw what Griffin Canning did last night. Change up there.
What an effort by Canning last night. Just free and easy. Even the pitch count that he ended up having there, 12 strikeouts.
120 pitches. Went Gooby style last night.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you could throw 60 pitches and you're taxed. But 120, he was so under control. His mechanics were great. He probably didn't even feel any different between that last start he had and then the start last night.
Swing and a miss. Another good changeup as Higashioka strikes out for the second time. Our T-Mobile coverage cam, the outing for Canning had a career high 12 strikeouts yesterday.
Well, he had a good 4-seam fastball. He was able to mix in his changeup on occasion, but his slider was really good. I didn't really like his fastball, though. He was running that fastball consistently, upper part or above the zone, and still, once he got the hitters to look for that, he was able to drop that breaking ball between his slider and curveball effectively.
Anthony Volpe, the batter, with 1 away as he looks at ball 1. Canning threw 120 pitches last night. His reaction basically was, well, what's the big deal? Yeah. We're trained for this.
Yeah. Why you do that workout, that's why you try to keep those legs strong.
Guys, Guys, we asked Canning last night about his pitch count. 120 pitches, to which he responded to me, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. These are the things that we kind of train for in the off season to make sure that we're ready to go. My arm feels just as good as it did the last time. Of course, he didn't want to come out of that game. He was more upset. Phil Nevin said he probably overthrew because he told him to empty the tank. But I asked him again today, do you really think it's not a big deal? And he said, no, it's not a big deal. Griffin Canning, cool as the rule.
You know, he threw 112 pitches a few starts ago. I think it's overblown in a lot of ways. You know, they run to the mound as soon as there's 100 pitches. The manager sprints to the mound every single time. And yet there's more Tommy John surgeries and pitchers injured than ever. The more these guys are protected, it doesn't seem to be helping that much.
Again, for me, it always goes down to the stress level of the pitches thrown. Again, there's times where you throw 70, 80 pitches, but if every pitch you throw is a struggle, you're taxed. Your arm doesn't feel good. Your lower half of your body doesn't. But there's games when you're in a groove like he was last night, didn't even feel probably like he threw no more than 80 or 90 pitches.
Volpe strikes out on the changeup. Back-to-back Ks for Sandoval.
And going back to that changeup there, and even Kenny, he didn't throw as many changeups. That's always a real good pitch. Now all of a sudden, a better feel for his changeup for Sandoval here.
So 2 down on the batter, Oswald Peraza. He struck out his last time, reached base 5 times yesterday, but he's 0 for 2 today. One ball, one strike.
So has a real solid feel of his slider too.
And that changeup working here in the top of the 5th.
Boy, both these pitchers have really, really good changeups.
That's in there, strike 3 call. Patrick Sandoval skips off the mound after he strikes out the side in the top of the 5th. Now his buddy Shohei will bat in the bottom half.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network. This is Bo Bichette. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Bo Bichette plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big-name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans
and baseball players wake up to.
Show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art. Construction. Baseball.
How'd you guess?
With the help of Major League Baseball, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
Shohei due up here in the bottom of the 5th, trying to solve Domingo Germán, who's been sharp. Patrick Sandoval's been sharper so far. Sandoval's allowed just 1 hit in 5 innings. And he's really gotten rolling. He's retired the last 8 in a row, struck out the side in the top of this inning. And Stefani bounces 1 foul. Sandoval now with 7 strikeouts so far tonight. Make that 6 strikeouts so far tonight. See if the Angels can get him a few more runs.
Nice job of pitching there after slider and changeup. He ran a fastball to get that final strikeout.
Stefanik lines one to center field. Bader got a good jump, and he's there to handle that. One away, and the batter will be Zach Neto. Make your way to the Big A on Friday, July 21st, Throwback Weekend. The Angels take on the Pirates at 6:30. First 25,000 fans will receive an Angels fanny pack, courtesy of Santa Ana College. For more info, visit angels.com/promotions. Game in Chicago just ended, talking about football scores around baseball tonight. But I don't think this qualifies because the Cubs beat Washington 17-3, and we know the Bears wouldn't do that. That's right.
The Bears.
It wasn't my idea for them to stink for 30 years.
I'm glad you're okay with that.
Get picked apart by Favre and Rodgers forever.
I'm so glad you let it go.
Yep.
Like the Frozen movie. Let's let it go.
I've only seen that about 6,000 times.
I can only imagine. I only can imagine.
2 balls and a strike on Zach Neto. Shohei bats next. And Neto gets hit by a pitch.
It's been a while.
Well, he's been getting hit by masks and pickoff attempts. Now it just gets hit by a good old-fashioned pitch. And here's Shohei.
And we take a look at the swing change difference. Now it's time for our play sets presented by Frontier. You go back to 2018 where the hands are positioned, how far away from the body, how close to the body here in 23. The load on the back leg and the hands in a different position too. We'll be able to get through the baseball. Morgan says even though he hit the ball very, very well in 18, but much stronger, better lift on the baseball here in 23, all set up by the power in the back leg and then hands in better position to get through the baseball consistently.
With Shohei, a strikeout and a walk tonight. Only 3 true outcome missing is the one everybody in this ballpark wants to see. Hit hard past the first baseman LeMahieu and into the right field corner. Neto's off to the races. He gets to third. He's being waved home. Ohtani is on his way to third. It's an RBI triple for the major league leader in home runs and triples. The Angels have a 4-1 lead.
That baseball was crushed. Stan did a good job of getting to that baseball to keep it from getting away from him at all. If that was the case, that was going to be an inside the park home run. Zach Neto scores after getting hit by the pitch. Shohei on that, catches that out in front. Almost exactly what we just showed on our Frontier play sense and how quick those hands were. That load on the back leg, 110.5 miles per hour exit velocity. Shohei Ohtani.
It seems low considering how that ball rocketed past LeMahieu. So the Angels now with a 3-run cushion. A man on third and less than 2 outs. They're trying to give themselves a 4-run lead.
And to shorten up, you got the infield in. Your percentages of getting hit increase with the infield in if you make some contact.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Moniak, who has a 2-run homer tonight. Struck out with the bases loaded his last time.
And that shake-off is all this by design. A lot of times to shake off. That's even with the catcher there because you know you're going off speed. Moniak hit a fastball out for a 2-run home run in the first. Next at bat, all off speed between changeups and slow curveballs.
Moniak with a bouncer off the glove of LeMahieu and a base hit scores Shohei. So the Angels put up a couple runs here in the 5th. RBIs for Ohtani and Moniak. It's 5-1.
Again, your chances of getting a base hit increase with that infield hit. Your reaction time is limited. You're in and hits that one well. And LeMahieu just won a Gold Glove. And second base before. That was a rocket by him. Big add-on run there for Moniak.
LeMahieu is a 4-time Gold Glove winner. Right now, LeMahieu needs a shield over there at first base. Forget the glove. Couple of rockets. Shohei's 1 and 10 off the bat. Moniak's 102, but that was with LeMahieu playing in.
Yeah, so I mean, your reaction time is limited when you're in like that. And we often talk about that third base position as the hot corner. That first base position in this inning has been the hot corner.
LeMahieu's played plenty of third in his career too. He gets it. 5-1 the score with Sandoval rolling through 5 innings. Angels trying to win a series.
Nice play.
This guy's really celebrating. Act like you've been there before.
It's one-handed. So hit by pitch, a triple and a single. Halo's up now 5-1.
Moniak's driven in 3. Shohei's on the board with an RBI triple. Two balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Ward. Ball 3. So Germán has walked 3. He's hit a batter. He's the hit batsman that started the rally in this inning. Followed up by the triple and the single to score 2 runs.
Moniak may be on the move here now. 3-2 with 1 out.
Moniak has pretty good speed. He's running. And Ward flips it off the end of his bat towards shallow left. Kiner Falefa got a late start but makes the running catch. A running throw to first as Taylor Ward has to scoot out of the way with LeMahieu chasing that ball down. Ward pops out. You think sometimes that just because it's a hit and run type situation, even though it's 3-2, that a batter might expand his strike zone because the runner's going?
It happens, definitely. But then a lot of times when you do that with 1 out, there's a lot of trust in your manager giving you that chance there to be going and knowing the strike zone to make sure you don't chase out of the zone. And you're going to make contact first and foremost.
Swing and a miss by Moustakas. See the Bears beat Washington in the 1940 NFL championship game 17-3.
I'm so glad you got over
1940. That's about right. Were they even throwing overhand passes then? Ridiculous.
Let it go.
No balls, 2 strikes on Moustakas. That ball almost landed in John Sterling's lap again.
We don't want that one.
You gotta watch out. You okay, John?
He's played where that one hit him before. Another nice play above us.
Runner going. Moustakas takes ball 1. Throw to second, not in time. A stolen base for Mickey Moniak.
Especially with 2 strikes on, not paying attention. I've always been a big believer in that one too. So most times you're going to get an off-speed pitch and it's never going to be in the strike zone. So that's your shot of going. Anticipate maybe it's going to be in the dirt. That was a changeup down. He's able to steal a bag. His third season.
He's a good player. Moustakas cut down by the changeup, and that ends the inning. Let's watch another good player run the bases. Shohei Ohtani with his 7th triple of the year leads the major leagues in that category. An RBI giving the Angels a bigger lead. It's now 5-1 after 5.
It's like that.
Donovan stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you. It's like that.
Got something to say about the game?
I want to hear that.
Don't just talk about it.
Get caught up so we can talk about it on the show.
Intentional talk about it.
I think this is when opportunity arises.
Join the conversation with Intentional Talk on MLB Network.
We're watching.
By Hyundai, it's your journey. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. By the OC Healthcare Agency, build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by your local Southern California Cadillac dealers. Two more runs for the Angels in the bottom of the 5th. Sandoval with a bigger lead now. It's 5-1. Gleyber Torres leads off. Torres has the only Yankee hit, a home run in the 3rd.
Just 75 pitches now for Sandoval.
Well, Phil Nevin would do cartwheels if Sandoval can get through 7 innings or so tonight. One more game in this series tomorrow. It'll be a little earlier start with a 4 o'clock beginning tomorrow. Yankees will start Carlos Rodon, who is finally healthy again, at least healthy enough to pitch. Torres drives one toward left center field pretty well, but Taylor Ward runs back and makes the catch.
So Torres with really the 2 best swings of the night against Sandoval. Ward able to run that one down.
For what it's worth, the Angels have not named a starter yet tomorrow. As Giancarlo Stanton stands in with 1 out. Bouncing ball. Zach Neto shows off his range, gets to it. Bit of a low throw, and Cabbage can't dig it out. An error on Neto.
Had a little more time. Just got underneath the throw. Trey Cabbage will tell you that's a play he's going to make most times on that one, but still see if he can get another quick ground ball at an infielder again.
We've seen Sandoval have issues bouncing back from plays like that in the past. He's got a 4-run lead and just has to get a couple outs here without turning this into something more. There's a strike to Rizzo.
Such a knows the game so well for being such a young player. He knows that that's a play he's going to make and make a perfect throw almost every single time.
1 ball, 1 strike on Rizzo.
I can guarantee he's hoping that there's a ground ball back at him right now.
Rizzo hit a ground ball Neto's way his last time, right over the bag at second base. Ground ball this time to the second baseman, Stefani. Flip to Neto. That throw, a good one to end the inning. A double play from Rizzo. And Patrick Sandoval pitches around the air.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
It's the Modern Baseball Show for the modern baseball fan. Off Base, with interviews and coverage of baseball's hottest stars.
I've done a couple interviews in my life. This probably is the most fun I've ever been a part of.
Only on MLB Network.
2 out, and now they're down to their final strike. Now goes it to his windup.
And a ground ball up the middle.
Great diving stop. Oh, what a pick.
Off balanced up.
Out at first base. What a play. Stop it.
Live black ad-free audio from every major league club, video of minor league games, plus highlights and look-ins on MLB Big Inning. The all-new At Bat is only $3.99 per month. Subscribe within the MLB app today.
This is Garrett Cole. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Garrett Cole plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play hard.
What was your best conversation you ever had with a pitcher out on the mound?
It was one of my first mound visits in the big leagues, or the first couple, I should say. I don't have one in particular, but I was just amazed at how in-depth everything was and how guys were able to execute game plans and stuff like that.
A couple weeks ago, went out and talked to Griffin Canning, and he goes, why don't you guys ever come out and just say, hey, you're doing a great job after I get 2 quick outs in a mound visit. So yesterday I went out there, and as I walked off the mound, I turned around and I said, hey, Griff, you're doing a great job, man. Keep it coming.
Here's Matt Thaiss swinging at the first pitch here in the bottom of the 6th and flying out to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Well, I don't have any experience with a mound visit, so what's your favorite?
Yeah, I had Mike McFarland. He was a really good catcher one time. He comes out to the mound. He goes, hey, what are you doing? I said, hey, do me a favor. Go back behind the plate, right now, put down the right fingers, and then we'll be okay. Just get away from me right now. I mean, those conversations are priceless out there for a catcher coming out because you just want to keep going with momentum. I know you've had some conversation with players over the years. Any fun ones for you?
Just a regular conversation with players? I'll tell you what, it wasn't really a conversation that I had, but I was walking from the Citi Field clubhouse area where the Mets clubhouse was to the dugout. There's a little pathway, and all of a sudden I hear this very twangy old country music, and I see Yoenis Cespedes swaying to the music with a bat on his shoulder and a little cowboy hat on, the whole thing. He was a cowboy. He was an old Western cowboy at heart, Yoenis Cespedes, and he was just getting himself ready, kind of like Pedro Serrano in Major League.
He was trying to get you to listen to some country music. You just wouldn't do it.
No, it didn't work. I got him ready for the game.
Yeah, Erica, what about you? Did you have any interesting conversations, doing what you've been doing for such a long period of time?
No mound visits, no cowboy hats, but a rookie reporter in St. Louis can be intimidating. I will say every time I got a chance to talk post-game with Jack Flaherty, I always learned something, so I appreciated the time he spent with me, helping me, get acclimated, learn, to navigate this job, and I always learned something talking to him after games.
That is pretty good. I love what Thaiss said to Griffin Canning. You never have a catcher go, hey, man, by the way, your stuff is great. Go get him. Why does that never happen?
Yeah, well, you tell me. Jim Sundberg never encouraged you in that way?
Oh, yeah. He says, can you please throw strikes? Are you trying? I go, yeah, I prefer to walk guys. I love traffic.
Hunter Renfroe fouls one off.
Mike McFarland and I had some fun over the years. Every time he would walk out, I could see him just shaking his head going, I really don't want to come out here. I really don't want to come out here. And I would say, just go back and put down the right sign so I don't have to blame it on
you. Renfroe swings and misses on a breaking ball, and there's a strikeout for Domingo Germán. 2 up, 2 down. Let's go to Jack in the Box with Snoop.
Yo, Jack, that a baked brownie in my munchie meal?
You know it, Snoop.
Say less.
After Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton were here, and Lance Bass was here last night, too.
Yes.
Now we really need Snoop to come here bearing his Jack in the Box.
I like what he said. Say less. That's right. Tell the catcher, say less. Let's get back behind the plate.
Say less, don't speak. We get it. The ball's 2 strikes on Cabbage. He has struck out both times against Domingo Germán. Germán's over 100 pitches now. This will likely be his last inning.
He's on that fastball that time. With a swing like that as a pitcher, you're going to probably go something all speed.
Germán has been touched up throughout the night. 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the 5th inning. The Angels enjoying the lead. Meanwhile, Patrick Sandoval has had the Yankees number tonight. He pitched well against them here at Angel Stadium last year, too. Last August, that was part of Sandoval finishing last season strong. Cabbage whiffs there, and Domingo Germán finishes his night strong with a 1-2-3 inning.
It's like that. Got him and stays fair. Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you. It's like that.
This is Chris Bryant. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Chris Bryant plays hard so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Arco game break. Patrick Sandoval has been outstanding tonight. He's allowed 1 hit in 6 innings so far. He has struck out 6, and he's been very economical with his pitch count. And Phil Nevin has to be sitting there just counting the outs that Sandoval gets from this point on. 81 pitches in 6 innings. Phil Nevin would love to see a long outing here, and if Sandoval gets through 7, he'll have at least accomplished that.
Yeah, just keep that same focus. Saying as pitchers, when you have that friendly competition, get greedy, be out there all the way in and shake the catcher's hand.
DJ LeMahieu takes ball 1, I guess. That pitch was right in the strike zone. Luis Renifo has taken over at third base, kicking Moustakas across the diamond to first. And Andrew Velasquez has come in too to play second base. So the Angels going to a more defensive alignment with a 4-run lead late. And Sandoval gets the strike call that time.
Tell you what, though, John Tumpane behind the plate last night was really, really good. He was pretty consistent.
Yeah, and I like when he punches the bat around,
yes,
too. Emphatic called third strike from John Tumpane.
Blackney's been very good so far today. Really hasn't missed many at all.
Maybe we found a good crew here with Blackney and Tumpane, Hunter Wendelstedt, and Marvin Hudson, the crew chief. Only thing they're missing is cousin Tony.
There's the marvelous one.
Full count on LeMahieu.
And it goes down to, again, trust your defenses. Go right after him here.
So full count. LeMahieu leading off here in the 7th. He fouls that one off. LeMahieu, then Bader, and Kiner Falefa.
Interesting thing here, Matt Thaiss calling the pitches for a number of games. Patrick Sandoval was calling his own game. You're seeing Matt Thaiss going to the pitch comp and calling pitches here now.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Moustakas ranges off the bag, feeds Sandoval, who hustles over. Another ground ball out. LeMahieu's 0 for 3.
It's another ground ball out. 11 outs via the ground ball today for Patrick Sandoval. Reason, pitches down, off speed. His slider's been good. His changeup been awesome. Mixing some curveballs, but again, at off speed and getting hitters out in front and soft contact on the ground. He's been outstanding for Patrick Sandoval. He loved that ground ball double play to finish off last inning.
That's a good outing. That's a really vintage Sandoval outing. 6 strikeouts, 11 ground outs, 88 pitches at 6 1/3 innings. Harrison Bader looks at a strike.
Some good news too. The Astros lost in Colorado tonight.
And the Angels just need to pile up wins. Let whatever happens in front of them take care of itself. The important thing here is just to stash victories. This is a Yankee team that is certainly not the same without Aaron Judge. The Angels have a chance tonight to win this series. They haven't won a series in a while.
You know what, Bader's had a tough time on Sandoval's changeup so far. Last couple of bats.
And he strikes out on the changeup here.
Well, he stayed back on this one real well. Turns this one over. Arm speed is perfect. Remember early in the game when he had thrown 12 changeups and only had 4 strikes with it. But since that point, he's really made a good adjustment and has stayed on top, kept that front shoulder in, and reaching out in front with his changeup.
2 outs. Kiner Falefa takes ball 1. There's activity in the Angels bullpen. It's Jacob Webb. Let Sandoval go. He's been outstanding tonight. 92 pitches, 6 2/3 innings. He's allowed 1 hit. Hasn't shown any sign of trouble here over the last. The hit was in the 3rd inning. He's gotten everybody out since then, with the exception of Stanton reaching on an error.
And he's thrown 8 of his last 13 changeups for strikes, including 8 swing and misses on his changeup now tonight.
Enjoy the ride. Let him go. Here's a bouncing ball, softly hit. Andrew Velasquez is there. Patrick Sandoval has been absolutely terrific tonight. 12 ground ball outs, and he works a 1-2-3, top of the 7th. Time right now for our Arco game break. We take you to Cincinnati, another wild game. Well, the first wild game was Atlanta and the Diamondbacks. Might be the wildest game all year. Arizona and the slugfest.
Yeah, it's what, were there 29 runs scored in that game? There was some serious bats being crushed there. Baseball's getting hammered.
Hey, who said pitchers can't do math? 16-13 the final in Atlanta.
I raised my hand on that. I cannot.
There's the first big league homer for Christian Encarnacion Strand, the man with the longest name in baseball history. Although they only put Encarnacion on the back of his Reds jersey. The Giants, though, have taken the lead back. It is now 11-10 San Francisco in that game. Alongside Mark Gubiza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and as we've seen tonight, Patrick Sandoval has been outstanding.
I mean, I love the fact we talked about that changeup early up. He was doing this. Now he's getting that changeup out in front. His fastball's been good. His slider with good depth on it. I love the way he's throwing. Those ground ball after ground ball has been outstanding.
Well, Phil Nevin chatting with Sandoval right now. 7 innings, 1 hit allowed. Sandoval under 100 pitches, and I wonder if Patrick is trying to make a case to stay in this game. He should.
I mean, you can see what he's saying right now. He says, you know what? I'm throwing the ball really well. I'm your best option right now. I can get through this next inning and give you a chance to give a little bit of a breather down in the bullpen.
We're going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" now? We should. It's the 7th inning stretch.
You can sing it. I'll sit there and chant along with you.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
It's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone.
Angels Baseball and Valley Sports brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Jack in the Box, introducing Snoop's Munchie Meal, available for a limited time, only at Jack in the Box. And by Arco, official fuel of Valley Sports West, now accepting credit cards. Good night at Angels Stadium as the Angels try to win this series. Still have a chance to get another one tomorrow as they play the finale of this series tomorrow late afternoon against the Yankees. New pitcher for New York is Albert Abreu as he faces Luis Rengifo batting for the first time tonight.
He's got some run on his fastball. It's 96 and can touch 100 miles an hour curveball, slider, changeup.
It can be wild. A lot of walks come out of this Yankee bullpen. Even though they've largely been pretty good, they'll give you some base runners. The Angels just trying to add to a lead at this point. Patrick Sandoval has been so good tonight. Really, nobody's up right now in the Angel bullpen. Maybe Sandoval did talk his way back into the game for the 8th inning. There's strike 3, and Rengifo knew that was coming as he heads to the bench after making the first out of the inning.
By the way, the 2 defensive replacements made that last half inning by Phil Nevin. Stockis get a ground ball at first, and Velasquez gets that ground ball at second.
Especially with all the ground balls Sandoval is getting tonight. Important to back him up defensively in the later innings. We'll see if he goes back out for the 8th. Looks like he will. Nobody throwing currently in the Angels bullpen. And for how worked the Angels pen has been lately, well, why not try to take Sandoval as far as you can tonight? 1 ball, 1 strike on Zach Neto. Sandoval hasn't pitched in almost 2 weeks. Now, another guy with the All-Star break that hasn't pitched in about that amount of time is Chase Silseth. Wonder if he would find his way back here tomorrow for the finale of the series. The Angels have not yet announced a starter. Could be a candidate for that one tomorrow with Carlos Rodon pitching for the Yankees.
Every pitcher is going to have their hand raised at a 4 o'clock start early on. Very difficult time that first few innings of the game tomorrow for hitters.
Surprised it's a 4 o'clock start. Both teams are off on Thursday. And the Angels aren't traveling until after the game Sunday. The Yankees go to Kansas City, I believe, or maybe they're going home. Neto strikes out a ball that's squirted away from Higashioka. And the Yankees are going home. So they have an off day. And I guess getting a little bit of a head start to get across the country. A couple of strikeouts for Abreu, our Arco top tier play. Another triple for Shohei.
How about leading the major leagues in home runs and triples? Shohei Ohtani, stand-up triple.
.35 home runs, 7 triples. He leads the major leagues outright in both categories.
Also 11 stolen bases.
Only one player has 6 triples besides Shohei, who now has 7. That's Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals. You saw the list of players to lead the majors in homers and triples. It's 2 Hall of Famers, and that's it. Willie Mays and Jim Rice.
Wow. Tell you what, Jim Rice was an incredible player himself. Unreal power. You know the Say Hey Kid.
Last player to have a 35 home run, 7 triple season before August 1st was Jimmy Fox, another Hall of Famer. That was all the way back in 1932. 3-0. Shohei takes a strike. Surprised to even let that one go.
He wants that same exact spot now. See if he comes right back with another fastball there. Shohei is really good at that as far as bringing a pitcher to that exact spot.
He's late on that 3-1 fastball, so now it's 3-2. Albert Abreu has struck out the first 2 in this inning. In relief of Domingo Germán, who struck out 9 tonight but allowed 5 runs in 6 innings. Shohei touched him up with a run-scoring triple his last time, then scored a run himself. Abreu kind of walking around the mound here. And he gets strike 3 call, 98 on the inside corner. A good pitch by Albert Abreu. He strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th.
If you love baseball, you need to watch Baseball's show of record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? These guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Ohtani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then, as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late-night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake. This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight. Every night on MLB Network.
In the game as he made sure to look away from Phil Nevin. And Phil knowing that the conversation was going to be about Sandoval going back out for the 8th inning. Well, Patrick made a hard right and avoided that conversation at first. Phil Nevin tracked him down eventually, but Sandoval is still in there, and the top of the 8th inning begins with ball 1 to Kyle Higashioka. Bullpen is active behind Sandoval. Has thrown 95 pitches tonight. Has gotten into the 8th inning one other time this year. That was on May 14th, Mother's Day in Cleveland. A great pitching matchup between Sandoval and his old high school teammate Tanner Bybee.
Want to make sure you're attacking the strike zone here. Make them swing the bat here. The manager gives you that opportunity. You want to go out there and attack the strike zone here. No free passes.
2 balls, no strikes on Higashioka. Foul off the foot. Sandoval's season high in pitches 105. That was on April 26th. He has gotten past 100 a few times since then. And likely will tonight. Griffin Canning threw 120 yesterday. Great effort by Canning. And Sandoval has matched it in this one. Ground ball to the right side. Good range shown by Velasquez, who scoots over and throws out Higashioka. Another ground ball out for Patrick Sandoval. 13 of them tonight.
Nice job of coming right back after falling behind 2-0. Trusting your defense. Another ground ball. That ground ball percentage will go over 50% now on the season with this ground ball effort tonight for Sandoval.
Well, he's only allowed 1 hit. It was a hanging breaking ball and a home run to the left field corner by Gleyber Torres. Now Volpe with a liner. Velasquez couldn't quite reach it. Great effort on a leaping try, but it's a base hit for Volpe. It's the second Yankee hit, the first since that Torres homer in the 3rd. And here comes Phil Nevin.
Gave him that opportunity after that line drive base hit. We'll go down to the bullpen now. What an effort, though, by Patrick Sandoval tonight.
Sandoval was a stud in this one. Phil Nevin will take the baseball from his left-hander, who showed up like an ace tonight. Sandoval gets high fives from the infield and a big hand here at the Big A.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big-name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans
and baseball players wake up to.
Show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Sunday, on the next episode of MLB's Carded, join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network. This is Bo Bichette. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Bo Bichette plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Jeremy Peña, the world champion shortstop with movie star presencia.
Every Dominican wants to grow up and play baseball, bro.
When I was 13, I was like, the plan is to get to the big leagues.
I love seeing young Dominicans win, bro, because I'm an old Dominican.
Ya tú sabes que el dominicano que juega, todo el mundo juega pelota.
Claro.
Hey, we're just looking forward to playing again, man. This is going to be a fun year.
Salud. A la vida más linda.
Salud, hermano.
Masterful job by Patrick Sandoval tonight, one of his best outings of the year. Gave up just 2 hits in 7 1/3 innings. Now Jacob Webb tosses in a strike to Oswald Peraza. Angels need 5 outs from their bullpen to steer this one home.
What an effort, though, by Sandoval, like you said, Wayne. I mean, he just kept the ball down, kept him off balance, off contact. His infielders did a tremendous job behind him.
1-1 strike on Peraza. 13 ground ball outs, including a double play ball off the bat of Anthony Rizzo, following an error by Neto in the 6th inning. Sandoval just locked right back in and got 2 outs right after that error. And it's something to be said about ERA and runs allowed. Just because an error gets made behind you doesn't mean it has to turn into a laser show from there. You're still allowed to get the next guy out.
That's what you want to do. You want to pick up your teammate, and that infield had played exceptionally well behind Sandoval tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Peraza, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in this one. A very solid performance yesterday from the Yankee rookie. That's in there, strike 3 called. 95 on the corner, and Peraza has struck out for the 3rd time. So 2 down. Torres will bat after a quick word from Kia. Gleyber Torres has the only Yankees run scored in this game, the only RBI. It was a home run in the 3rd at that point, and until this inning, the only Yankee hit. Finally got their 2nd hit on Volpe's single that knocked Sandoval out of the game. Torres with a 6-game streak of multiple hits. That could be on the line right here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torres was thought to be a phenom and still can be. He's only 26 years old.
See that power he has. Much more comfortable at second base. Looked like he went on that.
He was just the 3rd Yankee to have multiple 15-homer seasons before turning 23 years old. The others were Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio.
And they were pretty good.
Has not quite stayed that way for Gleyber Torres. He's been better this year in the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really
Really
been an impressive take on that. There was a time, remember, he would chase that slider off the plate.
He's really been their best hitter since the Judge injury. Bouncing ball. Velasquez moves over, makes the play, throws it to first in time. Jacob Webb replaces Patrick Sandoval, gets the last 2 outs of the 8th. The Angels in business tonight.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. Come on! And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Sure, you'll teach her how to drive a car. Then use Greenlight to power her independence with crash detection with 911 dispatch, family location sharing, and emergency SOS alerts. Invest in your best investment with Greenlight.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Sports brought to you by Spectrum One, Internet Advanced Wi-Fi and mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. By Pacifico, rich golden lager brewed for those who follow their own path. Pacifico, live life, anchors up. And by Shakey's, the original Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving food, families, and fun since 1954. Patrick Sandoval, the Toyota player of the game. He was smooth tonight. Sandoval working 7 1/3 innings, allowing just 2 hits. In line to get a win here at Angel Stadium for the first time since April 26th against the A's. Line to left center off the bat of Mickey Moniak. Another hit for him, his 3rd tonight. He has a 3 RBI game on top of it. The Angels have their leadoff man on here in the 8th against Albert Abreu.
And so impressive using the whole field. The home run, the right field, but then that line drive there, the left center. Continues to impress swinging the bat.
The Angels have an off day on Thursday before the Pirates come here on Friday. So even with a 4-run lead and a chance to add to it, Carlos Estevez is up in the Angels bullpen.
Some serious running action on that fastball.
That's the Patrick Sandoval the Angels have been expecting to see all year. We've seen it at times this year.
And I go back to Wayne, to get a good streak going, a chance to win a bunch of games in a row, you need that friendly competition among starters. Griffin Canning was excellent last night. Patrick Sandoval, excellent again here tonight.
This team was expecting their starting pitching to be a big bright spot for them. Around Shohei, you had Sandoval coming off a great year last year. You had the returning Griffin Canning. You had Reed Detmers ready to take another step forward. So between those 4 and the addition of Tyler Anderson in free agency, it was supposed to be a very good starting staff.
Give you a chance to have long winning streaks.
That's what the Angels need going down the stretch. Really need to reverse how the last couple of weeks going into the break were when the Angels lost a lot of games in a big chunk. They need to now win a lot of games in an equally big chunk. Get back in it. They're not that far out. And there's still a lot of time. Taylor Ward couldn't hold up. He strikes out, and there's one away. Mike Moustakas will bat after we take a trip with Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
Ball's one strike on Moustakas, who is 0 for 3. Can hold up his swing. Abreu has gotten 4 outs. They've all been on strikeouts.
An impressive sinker and 4-seam fastball.
Ball hit fairly well to left, backs up Kiner Falefa, and there's 2 away. Shuffle for the duffel. Head to the Big A Friday, August 4th, as the Angels face Seattle at 6:30. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Mike Trout duffel bag, courtesy of SoCal Gas. Visit angels.com/promotions for more info.
Can you show us how you do that, Lil Wayne?
Can't wait to shuffle for the duffel here in a couple weeks. That'll be great.
Paying a lot of attention to Mickey Moniak over first base. It's the 3rd time he's thrown over. You could do that in the change of a batter.
Moniak has 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base tonight.
Yeah, center fielder Mickey Moniak, our good buddy. Torrey Hunter's birthday today. Number 48 for number 48 for Torrey Hunter.
Well, rub it in.
That's way young.
It is. Matt Thaiss with a bouncer to the second baseman Gleyber Torres. And we'll go to the 9th. The Angels holding a 4-run lead.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Let's talk about ED. As you get a little older, things tend to work a little differently.
I felt shame, embarrassment, guilt.
Like something had been knocked out from underneath me. What HIMS does is says, hey, look, don't worry about it. We got this part covered. 100% online.
The whole process was very discreet.
It made me feel like I'm a rock star.
This product has changed my life.
When it kicked in, I said, yeah, I'm back. I remember this feeling.
Get started today at 4hims.com.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive. But here's the secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh, hi. We're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Back there, Hyundai key for the game today. Carlos Estevez in the ball game. What you're waiting for. It's an opportunity now to be able to win this series. Carlos Estevez can close it out here against the Yankees. Boy, what a nice job as far as the offense scoring enough runs. And Patrick Sandoval was excellent in his start today, going 7 1/3. Just 2 hits allowed. He was a ground ball machine. He was ground chuck.
Carlos Estevez, not a save situation here. He has not blown a save this season. Pitching in the 9th inning. Last time we saw him was in the 8th inning on Sunday. A game that the Angels wish they would get back. A tough loss, but they've responded well by winning the first game of this series. A hard-fought win last night and being in control throughout this game, trying to make it a series win over the Yankees. Angels Live postgame is next, brought to you by OC Navigator. If the Angels can navigate their way through the last 3 outs here, well, they could be looking at the possibility of a series sweep tomorrow against a Yankee team that just can't hit right now. They certainly know the Angels are capable of scoring a lot of runs, so see how it goes here in the top of the 9th as Estevez faces Stanton, Rizzo, and LeMahieu. Names that sound good. On paper, those are some serious hitters, but none of these guys have been swinging the bat all that well. And Stanton 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 of them are. 0-1 from Estevez. He lit up when I asked him earlier about pitching in the All-Star game. He loved his experience being at the All-Star game in Seattle. He was great in the game. He said it was cool to hear the perspectives of guys that are fellow closers, guys like Kenley Jansen and Jordan Romano.
It's invaluable to have those conversations with fellow pitchers.
There's a ball right back to Estevez. Fields his position to retire Giancarlo Stanton, and there's one away.
You can see Stan's timing's off a bit in this game. He had a pitch early in the game when he popped up the short. Same thing here, 2-0 count. He expanded the zone. That's a pitcher's pitch he went after, and ground ball right back to Estevez for an out.
That brings up Anthony Rizzo with one away. Estevez said it was cool to hear Kenley Jansen talk about responding from blowing a save and giving up some runs.
By the way, how about having those 2 guys down in your bullpen?
They're pretty big. Yeah. Protect a quarterback
that's
like
a football team right there.
Estevez said Jansen talked to him about some troubles that he had earlier this year. It was right after getting his 400th career save. He allowed some runs, 3 in one outing, 3 in another. And Estevez was really finding it interesting to hear Jansen's perspective about how to bounce back and how to overcome those bumps in the road that happen over the course of a long season. We had a great time there in Seattle. And he strikes out Anthony Rizzo for the 2nd out.
That's a great run. 98 upstairs for Carlos Estevez.
There's 2 away here in the top of the 9th. Angels have not had very many breezy wins. Usually we're up here sweating up a storm. Well, that's just us up here. Can't imagine what they're going through on the field. But tonight, it's been a little smoother ride as the Angels try to get this last out. A strike to DJ LeMahieu. Fly ball to left. Taylor Ward backing up. He makes the catch, saying goodnight to the Yankees. The Angels have a series win for the first time in about a month. And it was smooth sailing tonight thanks to Patrick Sandoval and the Angels pitching staff. A combined 2-hitter. Mickey Moniak had more hits than that by himself. He had 3 with 3 RBIs. Shohei had an RBI triple, and the Angels cruise to a 5-1 win against the Yankees.
Boy, what an all-around team effort. The defense was outstanding with all that work on the ground today by Patrick Sandoval. He was dominant 7 1/3. Bullpen solid. Mickey Moniak again, but a performance here today. A game you have to win here to give yourself a chance to keep moving up and put pressure on teams in front of them. Mickey Moniak got the scoring going in the first inning after changeup down, fastball in, fastball out. 2-run shot. Get the offense going. Mickey Moniak was outstanding. Ball got out quickly. 11th home run of the season for Mickey Moniak.
The Angels never looked back. The Yankees scored a run in the 3rd. Gleyber Torres hit a homer. That would be their only run. Angels added to the lead throughout the night. They score a 5-1 win, and now if the Angels win tomorrow, they can pull off a series sweep against the Yankees. Mickey Moniak, a solid night at the plate, now standing by with Erica Weston.
Guys, thanks very much. Mickey, after last night's dramatic walk-off win, how important was it for you guys to be able to put some runs up on the board like you did early tonight?
Very important. You know, last night was awesome. Coming out with a win like that, you know, fighting until the very last out. Yeah, being able to come in here today and put up 5 runs and have Sandy do what he did, that's what we need. So just going to try to keep rolling with it.
Yeah, Sandy was remarkable tonight. Probably one of his best outings of the year. 7 innings for him. I know you weren't very busy out there in the outfield tonight, but what was it like playing behind him?
Oh, it's incredible. When he's getting outs like that, his stuff was nasty. I had best view in the house besides, Matty Theis. And just to be able to watch what he did, that's him. And, we're going to need that going forward. And, it was awesome to watch tonight.
It really was. And last one for you. You guys secure a series win tonight. You have a chance to go for the sweep tomorrow. Been a minute since you guys have won a series. What does it mean to get this one against the Yankees?
That's huge. It's the Yankees over there. They're a great ball club. So to be able to take 2 or 3 and lock up the series is huge for us. We're going to enjoy it tonight, but it's over and we're focused on tomorrow. So everyone counts, and we're just going to look to keep it rolling.
Nice job. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Mickey Moniak.
Well, the win tomorrow, and the Angels will not only sweep the Yankees, they'll get back above 500 as well.
What a job by Matt Theis behind the plate today, calling that game with Patrick Sandoval.
5-1 the final. Patrick Sandoval was outstanding in this one. Allowed 2 hits in 7 1/3 innings. He picks up the win as the Angels have won back-to-back games to make it a series win against the Yankees. For Mark Gubicza, Erica Weston, I'm Wayne Randazzo. The halo will shine brightly tonight after a 5-1 Angels win. Angels Live postgame is next.